Hi there and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you the dashboard I built for my entrance hall. A wall-mounted touchscreen, neatly integrated into a frame so it looks like part of the house. This isn't just a tablet on the wall. It's a dedicated control panel that gives me an overview of my entire home and quick access to the things I use every day. I focused on keeping everything clean, simple, and practical, without a complex setup or unnecessary tools. And honestly, it fits perfectly in the entrance and works great. Let's take a closer look. For a while now, I've wanted to build a dashboard for my entrance hall, a single place where I could control everything in my home, and now felt like the right time to finally do it. My goal was to keep this project as simple and accessible as possible, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you, how I built it step by step. This video is the first part of the project, where I focus on the hardware side. In the second part, I'll show you the apps and the configuration I used to make everything work. For this build, I started with a frame that I bought at a local store. I measured all the components first, and then chose a frame with the perfect size for the dashboard. I also needed a physical switch, and I'll explain later why that's important. To control everything, I used a 2-channel smart relay, in my case, a Sonoff Dual R3. There are other devices you can use, but I went with Sonoff because I've been using their devices for years and they've never let me down. Besides that, I needed a tablet charger and cable, a few pieces of wood, and of course, a tablet. I chose a cheap Android tablet that's still fast enough for this kind of use. On top of that, I only needed some basic tools and a few cables. Nothing special. This is a very affordable project. Here's the full cost breakdown. 58 euros for the tablet, 15 euros for the Sonoff Dual R3, 3 euros for the small switch, 3 euros for a shorter USB-C cable, 10 euros for the frame. The wood, tools, and extra cables were things I already had from other projects. That brings the total cost to just 89 euro. I'll leave some links in the description for the items I used. I'll start with the frame, disassembling all the removable parts. I removed the backboard, the inner frame, the paper, and the glass, leaving just the outer frame. The frame is the base of the entire project, so at this stage, I only keep the parts I actually need. I also remove the small pins that normally hold the backboard in place, since I won't be using them anymore. The next step is to build the mounting system that will hold the frame on the wall. For that, I use a few pieces of wood to create a set of supporting blocks. Each support block is made from 2 pieces, a shorter, thicker piece of wood and a longer, thinner one. I glue these 2 pieces together, and this assembly will later be fixed to the wall. Then I prepare another 2 pieces of wood that I attach to the frame itself. These will slide into the support blocks on the wall, allowing the frame to sit securely and with some space behind it. Now I glue the wooden pieces together to create the support blocks. I use cyanoacrylate adhesive, also known as superglue, and a clamp to hold everything in place while the adhesive cures. And here they are, with the adhesive fully cured. Next, I drill holes in the support blocks so I can fix them to the wall using these screws. And once that's done, they're ready to be mounted on the wall. This support system keeps the dashboard stable and allows me to easily mount it to the wall or remove it later if I need access behind it. I'm going to mount the dashboard on the wall using the power supply from the existing light switch. That's why I needed the extra physical switch I showed you at the beginning. I still want to be able to turn this light on and off manually. So I start by removing the original switch. One very important thing, before doing anything like this, always turn off the electricity at the breaker. You're dealing with high voltages here, and this can be extremely dangerous. If you're not completely sure about what you're doing, don't take any risks. Contact a qualified professional and have them do this part for you. Next, I need to mark the spots where I'll drill the holes in the wall to fix the supporting blocks. I make sure everything is properly leveled, and I use double-sided tape to hold the supports in place so they don't move while I'm marking the holes. Now I drill the holes exactly on the marks to make sure the dashboard is perfectly aligned on the wall. You can also see that I've already marked the inside of the frame, so I know exactly where every component needs to fit. Before mounting the supports on the wall, I insert the wall anchors and then fix the supporting blocks in place using screws. Next, I position the frame blocks so I can mark exactly where they need to be glued to the frame. I place the frame against the wall, align it with the reference marks I made earlier, and then mark on the frame where each block should sit. Back at the work table, I double-check the positioning to make sure everything lines up correctly. Once I'm happy with the alignment, I apply cyanoacrylate adhesive to the block and place it onto the frame. I use a clamp to hold it in place while the adhesive cures, and then repeat the same process on the other side. After the adhesive has fully cured, I test fit the frame onto the supporting blocks. Perfect. It fits like a glove. Now I need to build a support to hold the bottom part of the tablet in place inside the frame. To do that, I cut 2 pieces of wood. One smaller piece, sized exactly to keep the tablet perfectly centered in the frame, and a larger piece that will act as the main support and hold everything in place. This is how it will sit inside the frame, and this is where it will be glued. I'll also add an insulation strip to gently press the tablet against the support and keep it tight and secure. I glue the 2 pieces together, making sure they are perfectly aligned, and use a clamp to hold them in place while the adhesive cures. This gives me the exact height I need to keep the tablet properly aligned inside the frame. Now comes the not-so-good part. I made a mistake in the size and shape of the mounting blocks on the frame. They're blocking the space where the glass needs to slide back in. But every problem has a solution. I trim the blocks at an angle so the glass can fit back into the frame. Problem solved. With that fixed, I can now install the bottom tablet support onto the frame. But first, I add the insulation strip to the support. With the paper already cut to size and the camera hole prepared, it's time to glue the support to the frame. I apply the adhesive and use 2 clamps to keep everything firmly in place. While the adhesive cures, I solder the cables to the switch. And please don't judge my soldering skills. Now that the adhesive has fully cured, I move on to building the upper support for the tablet. I use this piece of wood that I've already cut to size. It needs to be slightly thicker than the tablet itself. I mark the exact thickness of the tablet onto the wood to ensure a perfect fit. To secure the top of the tablet, I'll use a dowel. This allows me to easily insert and remove the tablet whenever I need to access it. I mark the dowel position on the piece that will be glued to the frame, then drill a hole matching the dowel's diameter. It fits perfectly. Now I glue this piece to the frame and use 2 clamps to hold it securely while it sets. Let's test it. I place the tablet into the bottom support and align it carefully. Then I insert the dowel into the top support to lock it in place. It's secure, and it's starting to look really great. Now I install the physical switch into the frame. This switch replaces the smart switch that was previously mounted here, by using one of the channels on the Sonoff Dual R3. I want the switch to stay hidden on the bottom part of the frame, so I drill a hole in this section. I've already drilled a larger hole for the button head and a smaller one to secure the switch itself. Then I create a thread so I can screw the switch directly into the frame. Now I can tighten the switch in place. With the switch secured, I reinstall the button head. Next, I fit the tablet and all the cables inside the frame. I connect the charger cable, insert the tablet into the bottom support, and secure it in place using the top dowel. If you want to replicate this project, you'll find links to all the parts I used in the description below. Before mounting the frame on the wall, I finish removing the original switch. Now I can start connecting all the required wiring. If you want the complete wiring schematics, they're available on my website. Just visit DIYme.com and check the resources menu to download them. First, I connect the line and neutral to the Sonoff. Then, on channel 2's output, I connect the cable that goes to the light that was originally controlled by the smart switch I removed. On channel 1, I connect the plug that will power the tablet charger. Next, I wire the physical switch on the frame. One cable goes to the line and the other connects to S2 on the Sonoff, allowing me to manually control the light. I plug in the tablet charger, carefully position the frame onto the support blocks, and mount it in place. And there it is. The frame dashboard is installed and fully working. I did make a few mistakes along the way, and I slightly damaged the frame, so I'll probably replace it. But now I know exactly what not to do next time. This wraps up the hardware part of the project. In the next video, I'll show you the apps I used and the configuration behind the dashboard. And that's it. The hardware part of my frame dashboard is complete. If you enjoyed this build and found it helpful, make sure to hit the like button. It really helps the channel. And if you don't want to miss the second part, where I show you the apps and full configuration behind this dashboard, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.